for young fighters, and I've gone through this as well, but Logan Storley, fighting in front of in his home state,
Felt the pressure.
kind of almost in his hometown. I think for the first time in his career, he felt an adrenaline dump.
Yep.
The crowd was fucking electric for him. They were all standing on their feet when he walked out.
Yep.
It was crazy. I mean, it was, and then the one thing too is when I was watching his last fight there against AJ Matthews, when I was watching it and listening to it, I thought they were booing every time he got takedowns. But then in the arena, I realized what they were doing. Everyone stands up every time Logan gets a takedown, and they go, 2, 2. They start yelling, 2.
Yep.
I mean, they're obviously all big fans of Logan. And every time a takedown came, they were yelling, 2, 2. And I was like, it was really awesome. But he faced an adrenaline dump this time. It really hit him hard. I think once he realized that Skiro was not as easy to take down as he thought, and that tall, long, lanky body style poses threats. I think with Skiro though as well, he needed to use what I said what Jenna Fabian needed to use. That push kick up the middle, the long jab, put the 1-2, the right, throw the right hand, then the jab right after. Don't aim for the head, aim for the neck or the chest. Those little tiny things will make a big difference on whether you get taken down or not. But I mean, even still, Logan had to work for every single takedown, especially in that first round. He was just working and working, even then trying to get past guard.
That was the big difference maker there.
Yeah, and Logan's not a tall guy. So when you are facing someone who's tall and lanky, like what they can do is they can get you like in that Eddie Bravo lockdown, and you're stuck, kind of. You're pretty much stuck. You can't really do a whole lot of ground and pound because your body is not high enough up to really develop the leverage.
No, you're elongated out and you're being held down.
Yep. And that potentially, when you start trying to open up from that position, you could potentially be swept from there. And then he also had a really good butterfly / hook sweep kind of position that he was using really well.
He used a beautiful butterfly guard.
Yeah, he was way better than I think you and I both gave him credit for. I was like, yeah, he's not bad. Like I saw his stuff, but I didn't think I thought Logan would take him down, and I said he's gonna do what he did to AJ Matthews with the nasty ground and pound. But I was like, wow, Logan couldn't even posture up. Otherwise, he would have got back to his feet. He was in phenomenal shape. Yep. He was making Logan work at every turn. Everything Logan was trying to do, he was making him work. And I think that was a good fight for Logan to come back off of because I didn't have it a split decision. First, I want to make sure that's clear. It wasn't a split decision. No. I had it 30-27 for Logan.
No.
So you didn't or no?
No. I had Dante winning the last round. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that as well. Okay, I could give you that. Yeah, especially the way he finished it with those hard elbows against the fence, and I could say that. I could see that. Yeah, definitely, I could see that. So let's just agree 29-28.
Yeah,
I'll lean towards John's judging for once. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good fight for him to come back on because it made him work really hard. It made him understand that hey, it doesn't matter who you're fighting, you can't take it for granted. You've got to go out there and get it done. And I don't want to say he overlooked him, but I didn't think he expected his wrestling to be that good. And then when he got cut, I think at the end of the beginning of the second round. Yeah, when he got cut in the second, that kind of changed a little bit for him too. That I think that kind of worried him a little bit. So there was a lot going on. You're at your home state, your home crowd. You get a cut in the second. The guy's a lot harder to take down than you thought. And he's tall, long, and lanky. He's hard to deal with on the ground. I can't pass guard. It's frustrating. You're like, shit, I'm over here trying to put on a show. I thought Logan was going to start crying at the end there. He seemed very emotional.
He was.
Crappy. He was frustrated with himself.
But you got to look at it this way. He came out, when you say he had a hard time, he didn't have a hard time taking him down at the beginning of the fight. No. He took him right down, okay? Think about it. He took him right down. But it was that butterfly guard of Dante Skiro that gave him problems because he had to work hard. And you could tell that Logan was amped by the crowd and he wanted to impress the crowd. He wanted to make them happy. He wanted to perform in front of them. So he put a lot of energy out in that first round trying to get past the guard of Dante Skiro. And he did multiple times. He got to he got to half guard. He got to side control multiple times. And Dante he even dipped his arm inside to slip himself past him to get him back into the butterfly guard, and Dante did a great job with that. And he was not burning the energy that Logan was burning a ton of energy trying to get rid of him in that. And that was the difference. And, coming back from, having some time off because, he had injured his knee in the Amazov fight and being in front of his home crowd. These are the kind of fights you need, though. These are the ones you learn off of. And you got the win, and there's a lot of lessons for you to learn off of it. And he's going to come back an even better fighter. He's good. Obviously there's always something to learn, but I think the real thing is, I think the Bellator got someone in Dante Sciro because he's freaking good. His wrestling is actually, good. Obviously he got taken down a lot from Storley, but that was kind of expected. But his actual jiu-jitsu game is damn good. I watched him in the top position when he fought Kenny Robertson in his last fight, and he really did a great job with top position. But Kenny had him in trouble, a lot more trouble than Logan did in that fight, and he fought his way out of it. So I said, he's a tough dude, and he's got a good top game, but I wasn't able to see the ground game that he was able to implement against Logan, and he's impressive.
Yeah, when I said it looked like he was going to cry after the interview, I want to make sure you guys understand. Fighting is a very emotional sport. There's a lot of adrenaline that goes along with it. There's a lot of ups and downs, and especially when your family and friends are all there and everyone's watching you, and that the crowd basically is everyone in that damn arena was there for him, and so when that, there's a lot more added pressure. And so I think it was good for him to get it out of the way. And I didn't mean that in a disrespectful way, but there's a lot of emotions that go on. And when you hear the damn announcer go a split decision, your life flashes before your eyes. You're like, what the hell is going on? And I thought he won the fight convincingly, but one of the judges didn't have it that way. And so for him, it's an emotional feeling, man. There's a lot of things going through your mind, especially when you're, like I said, in your home crowd with family and friends all there, specifically to watch you fight. So, but I like you, another thing that you said, and I've said this all the time. I say this all the time. When you can go in there and not have one of your best nights and still walk out of there with a W, that's all that matters. It's all that matters. Like it's no
one.
Big deal. Yeah,
because not every night is the night that you actually feel good.
Nope. It's so funny. You can feel like, oh, this is the easiest weight cut I've ever had. I felt great all week. I was recovering. Like food intake was great. Preparation was great. I woke up this morning feeling pumped, and then like all of a sudden I took a nap in the middle of the day for 30, 40 minutes, woke up and just felt done. It's happened like that. It's happened that way. Yeah. And so it really just depends on the day. But for him, I think it was a good, sorry.
That's okay. You haven't slept. But either have I, and I'm not yawning.
I think it was a good thing that he was able to walk away with a victory, be tested, and do it in front of his home crowd, because his home crowd's going to forgive him the most and be like, hey, we love you, man. He was walking out of the arena, they're yelling, 2. I loved it. So don't get down on yourself, Logan, man. Just back to the drawing board, just clean up a couple things, and you'll be back, brother.
100% agree.